Inflation is largely corporate greed. Today's Procter & Gamble results are the proof. They are increasing margins well beyond production cost increases. $1.57 a share in profit. Well beyond analyst expectations driven by price increases. This entire period of quarterly earnings reports has largely been fantastic for the corporate world, while the rest of us are told to tighten our belts. For anyone who doubts this, look at how the world experienced recession during the pandemic while corporations in the West pulled higher than expected profits. The end goal of capitalism is to create a permanent consumer class while enriching an elite. I feel a lot of business use the excuse of inflation to make it worse. As well. 7% inflation. Huh? Better double my prices just to be sure. They are piling on price increases and using inflation as an excuse. The only legal responsibility of a corporation is to make money for investors, owners. Inflation is a feature of a system where constant growth in profit is required. Combine that with essentially unlimited money supply from the central banks and this is what happens. Now that everyone's retirement accounts are linked to the performance of the stock market, it's a self-sustaining system where Peter is robbed to pay for Paul's old age lifestyle. It's almost like capitalism has become the robber the right wing always portrays socialism as. It's not, largely, it is completely corporate greed. It always is. As a very small home bakery business, I've had to consider raising my prices too. Not as an excuse, but because all the ingredients I buy is more expensive now. It's a chain effect. Companies will feel the pressure over the next 12 months as the economic conditions run their course. That said, you don't have to buy their products. I wonder if it's greed, or if it's a message. Stay in your lane, working class scum, or we'll starve you out. Everybody's doing it, passing net costs to retirees and those not in the workforce. The work cult will be the last thing that dies. So how much profit is a company allowed to make in your opinion? Raising profits is bad is kinda what I got from this post, so how much should a company be allowed to make or grow? Remember, inflation is a backward-looking metric. It looks at a basket of goods and says, how much have prices for this basket of goods increased over a period of time? Quote, 7% inflation means prices have already increased by 7%, which means that if corporations raise the prices of their goods in response to inflation, and their goods are tracked in that basket of goods, then what they're really doing is raising prices in response to the fact they've raised prices. To OP's point, corporate greed. Yes. 100%. Eat the rich. Their operating margin is 18%? That's pretty reasonable, I would think. Where are you getting your data from? Because someone else in the comments provided a useful source. https www.macrotrends.net/stocks/charts/pg/proctergamble/operatingmargin. $1.57 EPS is still down from the $1.61 EPS a year earlier, on $3.94 billion in net income versus $4.11 billion, which means margins are lower, not higher YoY, as price increases haven't fully offset higher costs. The fact that they beat analysts' estimates doesn't mean they are increasing margins in this case. It just means that margins haven't been compressed as much as analysts anticipated. Inflation is the result of monetary policy rolling on the floor laughing. You misspelled entirely. The first pandemic was caused by a novel virus that killed millions worldwide. The second, ongoing pandemic is corporations trying to make back all the money they lost. You misspelled entirely. I am going to throw another log on the conspiracy fire. Corporations in general have allied to the Republican way of governing and are more than happy to contribute to inflation as long as they can blame Biden and the Democrats. Think you will ever hear about this on network news? You will not. Think you will ever hear about Republicans voting against anti-inflation bills? You will not. My whole life I thought inflation was based on supply and demand. But wow. Yeah. You got it right, totally corporate greed lol.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.